This is Govs Radio.
Govs Radio.
Hi, everybody. It is Tuesday, March 24th. It is the Knockem Comedy Radio Show coming at you live from Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, here on govsradio.com, the Knockem Comedy Radio Show. It's just me and Sallie here. Hi, Larry. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Ange. Hello, Andrew. Nice to see everybody here. It's a weird day. It's a weird day here today. The studio... We unfortunately had to lay the hammer down. The studio is closed. The powers that be have decided that it's best to close the studio. So the shows won't be coming to you from here. You saw the Wort last night. Mike, the tech genius that he is, did the show from his kitchen, and he was able to split screen and bring in Graz and his co-host Mike. His co-host Pete. And their guests. Sallie and I are here because Sallie and I, if we're together, so we're infecting each other anyway. So we figure, well, screw it. We may as well just come in.
That's the most romantic thing you've ever said to me.
I'd love to infect you, baby. We just figured, if we're going to infect each other, there's nobody else coming in and out of here. So we figured we may as well do it here.
Yeah, we like yesterday afternoon, we're thinking, all right, well, there are too many people in and out of here, so we were just going to close it all. And then we're thinking, well, maybe since we're we're here practically every day anyway, and if we don't have any guests that will bring any heebie-jeebies in here, or other hosts that come from from other homes and stuff, like we're just thinking like we're gonna try it out. Like we're not gonna have guests, so who knows? Maybe like I'm kind of thinking maybe we'll just do an hour show. And we'll take calls and we'll see how everyone is and we'll see how that goes. And, if it's a struggle and we don't have things to talk about, then we'll call it early. And if, things are going really well, we'll look at that too. But, that's kind of what we were thinking this morning. So actually, like, I woke up this morning thinking I'm not coming in here. And then, after we talked for a while, we're thinking, well, it actually kind of happened because I forgot something in the studio. So I'm like, well, I have to go by anyway. You just want to do a show?
Yeah. But it does. It makes sense at least for us to do it. Nobody else will be in here. So we figure we may as well just do it. Carla just informed us that she licked everything in the studio. So
Yeah, but what do you guys think? Because like yesterday, I mean, a lot of the reasons why we were thinking that we were gonna close the studios because people were you don't want things to change. You want things to stay and build, and we love being here. We love trying to help the studio and try to build it as best we can. And then a crisis like this happens, and you don't want change to happen. But then people that you really respect will have written in and said, you guys shouldn't be in the studio. Everyone should be staying home. You're not 6 feet apart. And, they're right. And so we just kind of thought about it, yesterday afternoon into early evening. And we're like, you know what? We can't risk people, because we want to do a radio show. Everyone wants their lives to stay exactly the same. And it's not, So, like, how do you feel about it if we... if we're in here, you think we'll be fine or we're just still stupid?
Well, but again, there's nobody else coming in here. We've been wiping, cleaning, and doing all sorts of stuff in here. We're still doing it, even though it's just the two of us. So I personally don't see a problem. But, I mean, and hopefully the other shows will be coming at you through technology from their homes or however they're figuring it out. We are trying. We've gave them a few suggestions on what they can do. Hopefully they'll come through and still be able to entertain. And that's the thing. We still want to be able to entertain you guys, and especially through this tough time. We know it's everybody wants to be entertained. Everybody's sitting home. The uncertainty, the just the stress of it all, and and even on our end, we still want to be able to do this. Mm-hmm. Just give a sense of normalcy for everybody. Joe Staz is watching Govs, and The Price is Right. Good morning, Tom Galati. Good morning, Benny. Carla, hope you're feeling well. I know Carla was sick. Same old hanging at home. Danielle Asher. Nice. Everybody's talking to each other. That's good. Zestos is glad to see us on. Thank you, pal. Joey Cola's watching. Hello, Joey. Joey, we talked about your set on Saturday. We talked about that yesterday here on our show, and we all loved it. Everybody loved it. So we hope, again, it's a little weird. It's even weird for us. I admit I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm not because I'm afraid of getting sick in here, because, again, we've been wiping it down with nobody else coming in. I mean, the whole building is shut down. The box office is closed, so there's no guests, no other shows coming at you from the studio. So we figure, why not? The two of us, we're going to keep wiping it all down. We're going to infect each other no matter what. So,
what are you uncomfortable about?
But I'm uncomfortable just from the weirdness of it all. Just it feels weird to be here without anybody else. It feels weird to come into this place. I mean, this is an energetic place. This place relies on energy and having fun and of course that's show times. But even during the day. It's exciting to come here because it's a known place. It's known for comedy, so you just kind of feel something when you're here.
Yeah.
I think even for even the employees, I feel the people work behind the scenes. I think there's just an energy here because of what place it is, and it's exciting and fun. And I'm getting a phone call that I can't take.
You're.
I told him after 2.
Yeah, I mean, you walk down the hallway in this place, and there's pictures of every great comic you could think of. It's just a fun place to be.
And yes, Carla just asked if we can call in, opening the phone lines right now. So that's the thing too. We want to, maybe we can't. We're not going to bring in guests, but maybe we can FaceTime with you. You can call in. We want to talk to you guys. We want to, again, especially during this crazy time. There's really not much else to talk about. We're going to try and talk about other things and have some laughs with you guys, but I think there's really not much to talk about. It's on everybody's mind. It's on everybody's minds constantly. So call in. Tell us, you want to tell us a joke, you want to sing, you want to just vent about what's going on. Call in. We'd like to be an outlet where hopefully you get entertained a little bit, but hopefully you can just vent and again, just have that outlet instead of everybody just, even just going on Facebook or social media, I think would get old after a while. You're tired of sitting in your chair at your computer or on your phone typing. You just want some interaction. So, yeah, we're going to try and talk about other things. By all means, call. The phone lines are open. The number's on your screen. If you know Sallie and I personally, you have our phone numbers already. Give us a call, and we can mirror you up on there if you'd like to do that. So there you go. And speaking of phones, I want to tell you about my phone.
He's so gay. Is that what you're going to say?
Well, I wasn't going to say it like that.
It's the first thing I thought of yesterday.
So everybody carries around their phone, and they have their protective case, right? So I needed a new case for my phone. So I went on Amazon. It's, it's probably a good month, at least, that I didn't have a case. I was just...
Yeah, and he drops his phone more than anyone I've ever known. And he actually will wait until he's over marble or something. Like, it's the craziest thing. No, I can't drop it on the carpet.
So, but then I was just lazy. I mean, we live in Nassau County, New York, where there's a phone store. There's a 7-Eleven on every corner. There's a phone store next to it, But I still just never got my ass into a place to get a case. So finally, I remembered to just go on Amazon. I'm just going to go on Amazon and order a case. So they didn't have black. They didn't have a black case. So I didn't even care. I barely even looked. I just clicked on whatever. I was like, all right, they don't have black. Who cares? And I just click on whatever color. I really wasn't paying attention. So the case came in the mail yesterday, and it's this nice shade of purple.
Like Donny Osmond.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. He likes purple.
Donny Osmond likes purple?
Yeah. You don't remember that was his big thing? His favorite color was purple, and he'd have like a blazer glittery in purple and purple socks. And you don't remember that? I can't be the only one who remembers that. Donny Osmond, love of purple.
That was
However,
40 years ago. How do you?
Yeah.
All right. So here's as Sallie said, the gay part. It's got this purple, but then the face of it here is all nice and pink. So I now carry a pink phone. But then
if it's not weird enough.
Yeah, to make this worse, look who also has purple.
I've had that for like
pink.
2 years.
So now we are one of those couples. Matching phones. Tomorrow we'll be in here with matching clothes, and
Yeah.
I will shave and get a wig so we're matching hair. And
Or I'll just stop shaving.
if I keep gaining weight from sitting home all the time, I will have matching boobies.
Yeah, I know. Yesterday, it was like early evening. I went to go get my charger out of the kitchen. Couldn't remember why I went to the kitchen, and then had a donut. I was like, what? Fuck's sake. Like, we're going to gain like 20 pounds.
Andy Plajanos, this is not a porn. We're not going to infect each other on camera, although it's not a bad idea. Tim Ciliani is watching. Hello, Michelle. Totally agree, says Ange. Thanks. We're all in this together, and this too shall pass. Everyone remember that, says Tom Galati. Tom Galati of Cruising the Pike, Cars and Comedy with Tom Galati here on Govs Radio. Tom, are you doing the show at all from the Parkway? Or you should cruise the Pike. You should cruise the Pike. That's the name of your show. You should cruise the Pike and just talk about your car.
I'm really like struggling because like every time you mention someone, I'm just always inclined to be like, "Hey, come on the show." Like you mentioned Joey Cole, and I'm like,
Right.
"Hey, you can't do that." Oh,
Right.
you know.
That's a weird. It does. It feels weird to be here without, because we, especially since all this crap started, we were the ones pushing. No, we're okay. So come on in. Let's sit together. But now, we can't even do that. So it's weird. But even before all this started, I would tell so many people, because we've really made some good friends here. Most of the people we've met here have become good friends. So we've told so many people, open door, open invite, come on in anytime. So it's weird to not have that now.
Yeah, but I guess it's getting really serious. So
you deserve to infect each other, says Andrew. I don't know if that's a compliment. Zestos, yeah, Donnie in his purple suit. He was purple before there was Prince.
See, who said that?
Zestos said that.
Thank you, Zestos.
Yeah, you guys have some memory. Hey, Carlo Russo, comedian. Hello, great to see you guys. You too, pal. You too.
It was always part of the show. Like, he's a little bit rock and roll, she's a little bit country. And, I think it was even, part of their song and stuff.
Jeff Bosey says hello. Yes, that was. Carla says us. Whoops. See that? I dropped my phone.
Was that your phone? Yeah. Well, yeah. But it wouldn't be good enough for him just to drop his phone. He's got to aim for the metal leg of the chair. That's how it has to go.
But that's so Carla says, yeah, that us with the matching phones is even grosser than us infecting each other on camera. And then Andrew says, don't cut your leg off, if we're trying to match everything. If she cut her leg off, I would steal it and sew it on. I'd be very uneven. I'd have to cut some of my left leg off so that I could stand evenly.
You're so weird.
See, this is what happens when we have no guests. This is all we have to talk about.
Well, it's winter time, so I haven't shaved my legs. It would actually just fit right into your other one.
True confession, says Kent Bichelle. I do remember Chrissy McNichol of my youth. I get Sally's Donny Osmond thing.
Yeah, Chrissy McNichol was cool.
Yeah, she was cool. Carla says she'll be right there. Come on in. Let's infect wow, it's like a threesome. We can infect each other.
Yeah, she's got the heebie-jeebies, though, right?
Not in my book.
Yeah, I mean, everyone they either have, I wonder how many people actually have the virus as opposed to just this, awful flu season. People have been sick, colds, pneumonia, tons of stuff. And I'm wondering, I actually asked Tony yesterday, I'm like, is it just in our head that everyone is sick? Like last year, did we say to ourselves, oh, everyone's sick, or did we just, call it winter? Did we...
Yeah, every time you cough, you're like, uh-oh. Here comes a call. You're live in the Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show. Who's this? Hello.
No, they hung up.
Oh, they hung up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they were listening to our show, so it wasn't like a...
All right, well, call... I don't know what happened, but call back if you want. You better not go in, says Danielle to Carla. Jeff is passing by the club now, but to go to a job. All right, let's wave to Jeff.
Hi, Jeff Bosey.
By.
Yeah, and I feel bad because, a week and a half ago, you came up with this brilliant idea to, help. You did. It was a really good idea to help comics who, their shows were canceled to come in here and still promote themselves and, still keep them fresh. And everyone thought it was just a great, great idea. And then we lined up all these people Jeff Bosey and Rich Rader were supposed to start their show tonight. They're
right.
it's
Richie Byrne.
sad. And
Richie Byrne was supposed to be in here today with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it is sad. Yeah, I was looking forward to Rada and Bosey doing their thing tonight. They're very funny together. Tony talking about Sally's cut off leg sounds like Elton John's Your Song. Are we bickering? No, we're not bickering.
Oh, that's not bickering.
So Kenny's asking where Eric is. Danielle says chick chat tomorrow. Are you guys still doing it?
See, I'm going to say no because then it's like 2 extra people in here.
Unless they're doing technology, doing a split screen or something. No,
yeah,
they can't do it in here.
Home. Yeah, they'll have to do it from home.
They can't do it in here. The studio's closed, unfortunately. But we came in because we can only, we're infecting each other anyway at home. So
and we're
because
here
I'm at Sally's
all the
house
time,
most of the time.
So.
Yeah, but since we're the only ones that are here and the only ones that are coming in and out, we just chose to come in here and do it. But
in and out, come here and do it.
Yes, Joey Cola is asking if he can call. Absolutely, you can. There he is. There he is now. You totally rocked it on Saturday night, my friend.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, welcome to the show, Joey. Thanks for calling
Hey,
in.
guys, am I on?
You
Yeah,
are on.
can you hear us? Yeah.
Tony was just saying how
Oh.
great you were on Saturday night.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. I literally set up my whole living room into a comedy club.
Yep.
I got had lights and sound and, the whole thing, man. And then I made my couch the green room and then forgot how to shut the thing off.
Yeah, I was just gonna make fun of you because I laughed so hard. Your beautiful wife sits down next to you and you're just like chatting and then she says, so is it off? And you're like, yeah. Oh.
Yeah. You should have heard the house phone rang and my kids were chiming in on my wife's phone. It's not off. It's not off. We gotta shut it off. It's pretty funny, but I wanted
It was
to,
cute.
because everybody's just doing like a thing where they hold the camera up to their own face. And like they're gonna, like we're having a gathering or they're doing those Zoom things.
Right.
But I wanted to bring a real. I wanted to do exactly what I would be doing on a Saturday night at a comedy club. Just do it on the phone, And if I had to put a laugh track in, I put a laugh track in because that's how you get from A to B in your act.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Which I thought was
So,
great. It was cool to hear the laugh track and just it was almost like the ambiance of being in a club, hearing that little bit of noise in
that's
the
what I wanted to
background.
create.
Yeah, that was cool.
I had these big, heavy, hot lights that I used years ago in my backyard for working at night. Like we were doing some cement work and digging some holes and stuff,
Right.
and I didn't want to stop at night.
Burying some
So I went to Home Depot and bought these big lights, and they get really hot, but
Yeah.
they're really, really bright. So I figured, let me plug that in. So my living room became a sauna also.
And then
So
you
it
put
was
a
like
suit
really
on.
hot and stuff. And my wife was like, I want you to throw these things away, get rid of them. I'm like, nope, look, this is now we got a comedy club. We got the lighting.
That's right. See, there's a
So,
reason for everything that you saved all that stuff.
Yes, there is. Today I'm just posting on Facebook all like music that I like, soothing songs, and just to calm people down. I'm getting a lot of private messages of people saying, hey, put up some music that you like, just calming music. So I'm just putting up some feel-good, soothing music today. A little bit of blues.
Give us
Little
some
bit of
examples.
Kermit.
Name two songs that you've posted.
Rainbow Connection by Kermit. And
It is calming. I love
and
that song.
Gary Moore still got the blues for you.
Oh, what a great
Put a
song.
little Van Morrison, Tired Joey Boy. It's a great song.
Yep.
I put Cats in the Cradle up, of course.
Harry.
Because now people are home with their kids.
Right.
They see it as a burden. This is a gift. I see it as a gift. Because remember years ago, let's go 100 years ago, when people grew up in tenements and stuff like our grandparents in the
Right.
city,
Right.
railroad apartments, not only did you have your immediate family there, but chances are, like my grandmother owned a apartment house in Queens, and my other grandmother owned one in Brooklyn. They were like railroad apartments, and all these apartments, 4 of them in a building. That was across the hall was your aunt and uncle and their kids, and cousins, and everybody lived in the same house. And the stray uncle lived in a bed in the back. He was sick.
Yeah,
he didn't know what he had.
there's always some uncle in the back of. I know even
There's always an uncle.
My nanny
Yeah.
had the same thing. In the city, like there was always like the weird uncle in the back, and I thought it
Yeah.
was just an Irish thing because it seems like every Irish home has that.
Yeah, no, the Italians had it too. Or we had Aunt Peggy who had she had some kind of disease. What was it, the same disease that Michael J. Fox has.
Parkinson's.
It's Parkinson's. Yeah, she had Parkinson's, and as a little kid, I remember being scared of her. And she lived in the house. So like everybody lived. It was very communal.
Yeah,
So
because her
You know,
hand
and-
was
and,
shaking. You probably thought she was winding up to hit you or something.
yeah, everything was shaking, and she wasn't in that good of shape. But my mother and father bring, let's go see Aunt Peggy. And where is she? She's over here and down the hall and down these 3 steps. Make a left, flip a switch, and there's Aunt Peggy.
Yeah,
But we'd go see her and stuff. And as I got older, I realized I started feeling bad for her. Little kids see those things as like foreign, and you're afraid, which is what adults are doing now. What we're seeing now is foreign, and we're afraid, both of us.
But that's the thing. So you mentioned it being a gift, which I totally agree. Spend the time with your kids. Spend the time with your family. Enjoy the time at home. However, I do think people can do that, but there's that stress of two things: not knowing how long this is going. And then there's also the financial worry. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. If there was a way to put a freeze on mortgage payment, on rent, and on credit card payments, then I think people could relax and enjoy the time at home more and just see it as a break.
I don't see a way where they're not going to be able to do that.
Agreed.
I mean, I've already blown back my. I'm paying for my son's college, which was more than my house when I bought it.
Yeah.
And I already called them. It's a federal loan, and I already called them and blew it back 3 months and knocked $75 off the payment.
Wow.
And they were like, you could have did this at any time. I'm like, really? I said, yeah, you could. You even have more months that you could blow this back. You have like 11 more months you could blow this back if you want.
Wow.
We'd like to keep it in 3-month increments right now if we could. So I said, sure, I'll take it, and then if we have to, we revisit it then.
Sure.
But
well,
that's just one thing.
Right.
I mean, everybody's going to have to play ball here, or else when the smoke clears, the consumer is going to remember who played ball with them and who didn't.
Exactly. Yes.
I mean, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to totally remember which companies helped me out when this was going on, or helped other people out when this was going on, and who didn't. And if you didn't, bye.
Yep. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And then last night we had my wife and I are so tired. She's walking a dog now, but we had an insane situation last night. We both didn't get too much sleep, so we ate a lot. I'm starting to clean up this basement. My basement's full of crap. So we spent all day. There's no windows, so we got down there. I guess 11:30, and by the time either of us looked at a watch, it was like 5:45.
Oh wow.
Like, we're down here 5 hours already. Like, I'm going through, like Rosie O'Donnell scripts and letters that people wrote me that I haven't seen, and all memorabilia, like signed stuff and autographs, and then pictures my kids made when they were 3. And I'm not a hoarder, but I saved a lot of stuff, like sentimental stuff, letters my grandparents gave me and stuff.
Sure.
So we went through these bins, and I was like, oh my God, we did it for 6 hours. So we were kind of exhausted moving stuff, and so last night we went to bed, I guess at 10:30 like that. Watch a little Me TV, Hogan's Heroes and Green Acres, whatever's on. And we just doze off like every other night.
Nice.
So last night, my wife wakes me up at like 11:45, and she's like, do you hear a buzzing? I said, nah, I was like out of it. And I lifted my head. Of course, there was a loud, high-pitched noise. We're running around the house, and we think it's the ADT alarm, and then we got the front alarm. We got all these alarms everywhere. We got smoke alarms, and then I got carbon dioxide alarms.
Oh, boy.
But these things go off when the battery is low.
Right.
Yeah. Doesn't it just beep, though? Like, just like a beep?
No, this thing was constant.
Yeah.
So we couldn't find where it was. So I right away take out a metal wire snipper, and I'm snipping wires on speakers and wires on, and we still, no matter what I'm snipping, it's not stopping. I threw all the circuit breakers, threw everything. It turned out to be a carbon dioxide alarm that was plugged in upstairs in the attic between my kids' room, and it was just going off because the battery was low.
Jeez.
Or a cat hit it or whatever, and it fell halfway out of the outlet or whatever. But we couldn't find it because besides the one fireplace, I got a little electric fireplace that it's like a heater. We're able to move around the house.
Right.
We put that in front of where this thing was.
Oh, no.
And when the sound that this thing was giving off was bouncing off the back of the electric heater and coming up over the top of the roof, where it actually sounded like, my wife's like, it's behind the wall. We got to bust the sheetrock through. I go, what could be behind the wall?
Right.
How could somebody put an alarm behind the wall?
Yeah,
and she was like, go get the hammer. Go get the hammer. We're gonna bust through the sheetrock. I go, we ain't busted nothing yet. We gotta find this thing.
It's
so there
midnight.
I am downstairs, and then in the process of shutting, we thought it was ADT. So we call ADT, and of course you get a woman from the South. She's from like Tennessee. How y'all doing? And we're like, we're not doing good, lady. You gotta help us shut this thing off. Don't you hear it? You're not coming through our system. It has nothing to do with us. Lady, it does have to do with you. So now we're in an argument with this woman last night. And
now you got to send her flowers.
It wasn't her fault at all.
Right.
And then her like getting off the air was bless your soul, or bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
Bless, what do they say in the South? That's
Yeah,
pretty
bless
much
your
like
heart.
New York, F
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, bless your heart. Good for you.
So
Good for
how
you.
long did it take when you first heard it to when you eventually
We
found
went
out?
back to bed, but we were all awake. My heart was pounding. Like, this thing is going to stop us from dying of carbon monoxide poisoning. Is going to kill me of a heart attack.
Right.
So we went back to bed at 1:45. We were up.
1:45?
The thing was going loud, like the whole house was loud. And I even went outside in the backyard, and I could hear it from the outside. My neighbors really couldn't hear it, but I could hear it.
Right.
Till like 1:30. Till like 1:30 in the morning. And then, of course, we're up. Well, let's have ice cream. So, that, one thing leads
We're
to the
all
other.
going to be 1,000 pounds by the time this is over. I'm telling you
telling
that
you,
right now.
I've been trying to get
I don't
on
know
the
if you heard
treadmill.
earlier. Like yesterday, I went to the kitchen to get my charger. I couldn't remember why I went in the kitchen and had a donut. Like this is going to be like the longest few months. Anyway, keep
Well,
going.
now everything we're eating is like, is this going to be my last donut? Is this going to be the last?
Well, Dunkin' Donuts close on me.
I got a Haagen-Dazs chocolate, a pint. Is this going to be the last pint of, but I mean, we know it's not going to be. I mean, but it's just like you're thinking that way. You're thinking a little bit Armageddon like.
Yep.
Right.
So,
yeah.
so anyway, this thing, my wife moves the heater thing. She goes, it's this thing. So we just hit the button and plugged it back in, right? And then we watched TV for a little while, had some ice cream, and then it just starts chirping.
Oh, that's
Now,
sometimes that's even
I go
worse.
from
Chirp
0
drives
to
me
a million in a
crazy.
second. I go, give me that friggin' thing. I take it. I was going to smash it with a hammer, but instead I just unplugged it, took the battery out, took everything apart. That's it. But in the meantime, when I went around snipping all the wires, we unplugged the alarm system, and I destroyed some stuff trying to find this thing. So now we're back on the phone with them today, hooking everything back up.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's pretty much hooked back up now, but in the middle of the night last night, all hell broke loose.
Jeez.
Yeah, what a night.
So
But
Craziness.
But you ended up with ice cream, which makes it all worth it.
that's exactly right.
That's how I see
exactly
it.
Right.
You should have gotten ice
And I
cream
got
just
some
from
good
doing
news
the
yesterday.
basement.
My cousin had the coronavirus for 14 days. 61-year-old Italian guy. He had it. He had the fever and all the symptoms, and it laid him out. Like he was on the couch and in bed straight for like 6-7 days.
Yeah.
But yesterday was the second full day without fever.
Great.
And he feels 100% better, so he's on the other end of it. So.
Good.
Yeah, we spoke last Thursday. We had an old friend of mine call in who actually it looks like he did have it, but he was laid up for about 5 days. He's, I believe, around 61 also. He was laid up for about 5-6 days, feeling he said it was awful. But but he did about 5 or 6 days, and now he said he's just about 100%.
Well, they're saying that like 80% of the people that get it, it's going to be mild. It's just that, the other 20, some of those are going to die and some of those are going to be severe.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I have
my cousin's wife didn't get it at all, and she was with him, like literally sleeping next to him the whole time.
Yeah.
And she had no trace of it at all. Yet he went and got tested at Jones Beach. And he had to go to a website and this and that and figure it out, go to a link and call up the state. And
he must have freaked out that he had
full
it.
blown and she had nothing.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine whose mother, she's I believe in late 80s, but I believe early 90s actually, and she's actually I haven't heard today, but as of last night, told that the mom was going to go at any moment from Corona, and it stinks because I guess because there's so many cases of it. The hospital wouldn't let the family come in to say goodbye. They told everybody to call, which is just horrible. So of course you feel bad for people like in those situations, but it is still percentage wise a low amount. It's really just a bad sickness that most people are just getting through, in a week or two, and then luckily okay. Which is
my cousin's friend that he got it from.
Yeah.
Has it, and that guy's father died. He was like 98, 96, 98. He was in Queens. He died over a week ago. As you were just saying, that this morning, one of my good friends' daughters, the girl who used to babysit my kids, had a baby. So,
Oh,
and
nice.
another friend of mine had a baby yesterday.
Oh, very
So
nice.
there's people leaving and there's people coming in. But
There you go.
it is. I mean, Corona. I mean, I know both you guys for a long time, and we've talked about this at length. I live my life this way anyway, whether it's Corona, leukemia, a bus, a bullet, a heart attack.
Right.
Something's coming at all of us. So that's why we have to get our heart together and our mind together
Right.
and our
Right.
soul together, because everything here is temporary. Like I say, we're only here for a half hour.
Right.
Whether you get 9 years or 90 years, you're here for a half hour.
Yeah.
And there's something beyond. I believe there's something beyond this, way beyond it. This all is not coincidence. You look around, it can't be this. It's got to be a lot more than this. And you go back to the Big Bang Theory, and there was everything was, if you want to go to science and how everything was created. Well, because this big ball exploded, and that's where the planets came from. Well, who created the ball that exploded? You know what I mean? So,
Right.
and we can't even explain the sun. I mean, you can go into as much science as you want, but why are all the planets and the sun and everything kind of round? And why hasn't the gas that's burning on the sun so hot? Why hasn't that burned out yet?
Sally says
why-
those same exact things to me. Why are you so round, and what's with your gas? She says the same things to me all the time.
And all I thought it was like boobies.
Yeah.
Poor
there you go.
Joey's having this like fantastic conversation with a bunch of idiots.
No, you're not. I love
No,
you guys.
I know what you
So
mean,
anyway,
Joey.
You can't explain that stuff. So there's something. I think if the Earth moves to the left an inch, we freeze. If it moves to the right an inch, we burn up.
Yeah.
I mean, how could that all be coincidence? So that's why you gotta delve into whatever can get you to the next level of enlightenment, to think that there's so much more beyond this, because this is a slap in the face telling us, guys, you got to get your stuff together here.
Yes,
you got
agreed.
to not only for the planet, for humanity, but personally look inward and protect your soul, because you're gonna when this is over, and it's over in the twinkling of an eye, and then like a thief in the night, it's going to come. Whether it's the end of times and your deity, whatever it's Christ or whatever, comes back,
Right.
or when you die, you don't know the exact second or moment. So something's happening, you're going to cross over. Are you going to make a right, or are you going to make a left? And how much time are you going to invest in trying to make the right decision to where you go? And are you going to have grace bestowed upon you for making certain decisions here? It's not just walking an old lady across the street in traffic. You have to. It goes way beyond that. It's so much deeper than that. You got to go to a whole other level of belief and change your system. And I've done that. I think I've done that years ago. I'm no saint and I commit sin every day, but I try to give over and live my life to that as much as possible. It's all about service, which I know you guys do too. And when I give
agreed.
when it gives service to each other, then I know you get it back, and at least you feel good about trying to be on the right track. At least So that's why I knew everybody Saturday night. I know people were thinking, and I had a lot of conversations with people and private messaging people about, here it is Saturday night, we got nothing to do, and comedians, here it is Saturday night, instead of being on the turnpike or on the parkway or on the thruway going to a gig, here I am sitting on my couch. So I figured, you know what, I'm just going to bring a live comedy club to them, and luckily it made a lot of people laugh. It made some people happy, because there was watch parties. People were setting up they set it up in the back. A friend of mine, my friend Tara, who is a producer at Rachel, her and her husband live out in Mattatuck. They set like an outdoor movie screen up in their backyard. They had dinner on the the patio furniture, and they hooked it up to that screen, and they watched me on a big screen in their backyard.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, people were having drinks.
Yeah, we could
and
all do.
serving
You could do
food.
that anytime.
Yeah, well, I do think the word for that might be stalker, but no, I think that's a great idea. No, that's really cool, and that's one positive of all this too. At least it's springtime. At least we have nice weather coming this week, if not next week. So at least you can enjoy the nice weather, and at least that gives you a little. I think that gives us a little bit of sanity. We can go outside.
Yeah.
We can hook up a TV or have a catch or whatever it is. Walk the
Yeah.
dog. I
Yeah.
do think that's a little bit of a relief.
Yeah,
for
I
everybody,
think
too.
you're right. I think we it's a good time to slow things down. Clean your basement out like Joey did. Really get things done that you haven't been able to get done for a while. I think it's just.
Yeah.
I think people just have the anxiety of if they had a crystal ball that said, end of April, things will start getting better. Like, I think people would relax. Like, when you've,
Well,
like, I've known people that have, they've lost, in the past, they've like lost a major job, and they're obviously going to get another great job again. But for 3 months, you can't relax and enjoy your 3 months because you're so worried you're never going to get a job again. And then the second you get your job, you're like, wow, I should have like gone on vacation or something.
Yeah, well, it's a lesson learned in saving your pennies. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
I've always been very conservative with my money and investing it and holding it and putting it in places when I invest that I know I'm not going to really lose it. And I know, especially being a comic, I started doing comedy in 81, where when comedy was thriving and we were making like a lot of money, a lot of comics were putting it up their nose and smoking and drinking and just partying up. And I was like, no, I want to be a good husband, a good father.
Right.
And to do that, I can't be doing that stuff. And you really can't do that on stage anyway. Like, I've never been drunk on stage. I'll have a drink. When I'm doing it in my living room, I'll have a drink next to me, And after the show, I'll have a drink with some friends and stuff. But you really can't be high or drunk and do stand-up comedy.
I wouldn't think you'd be able to. I mean, some people, I think they don't do stand-up unless they are. But I can't imagine how that would work.
But just
I know a lot of people.
The life itself, because it's a life of entertainment where there's no guarantees, there's no job security ever. Forget about what's going on right now, ever. So it was a good move to. I mean, of course, you want to have some fun, but.
And the actors are even worse. That's why I'm glad Rosie did that thing the other night. She raised $500,000 because the actors, at least I could do stand-up. I could set up a mic and a light in the back room of a pizzeria somewhere. God forbid.
Yeah, right.
Things get really bad. But and I've actually done that. But when you're an actor, you can't it's hard to get a script and do Othello at the back of a pizzeria.
Right.
Sure. And all the people besides the actors, the people that work in the lighting department, and like all these people, it's just devastating.
Well, all right. So I have a thought here, though. You talk about cleaning your basement out and finding all this memorabilia and scripts and stuff.
Yeah.
I think while we're home, and I personally would love this, why not say maybe whether it's daily, weekly, whatever you want, but why not grab one item, do a 15-minute video, and post it on Facebook. Here's a script from Rosie. Let me tell you about, and talk about all the thing that you're showing, or talk about a show. Share some of your memories in showbiz.
Digging to do. I'd love to do that, Tony. What I'm doing is this. My basement. When I was a kid, when my kids were little, my basement, I fixed up I bought my wife's grandparents' house. It's a Cape,
Mm-hmm.
We fixed up the basement to where it was a giant playroom. We, carpeted and everything, and had lights put in, and a TV was down there. So it became like a giant playroom for my kids, and it was great. Kevin James actually played Santa Claus for my kids one year down there.
That's
cool.
Great.
And it was great. It was great. Dan Wilson did it one year, and just a fun room. Then I converted it into my office/playroom. Put a fish tank in the wall and everything, and now that's long gone. We sealed up the wall and sealed up a couple of doors, and that was
that's what's behind with the wall. It was a fish knocking. Get me out of here!
It's the soul of your dead fish.
So now we use it as a storage place, and now everything that my kids ever had, because they're grown up now, and everything that my other relatives had, and we just said, bring it over here, put it in a bin, we'll just store it over here. So now it got all piled up.
Yeah.
Right.
So literally to where, you can walk through it. You can. There's paths to walk through it, but I set up a couple folding tables where stuff are on tables now. And in the middle of that, I got my treadmill. So that's my excuse. I can't get to the treadmill.
That folding chair is just blocking me from the treadmill.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, look, a vase. I'm not getting around this today.
I'll have to lose 10 pounds to get around that vase.
Exactly. So it's going to take a while, and then what I'm going to do is I got decoupage and these big frames from Michael's. So I'm gonna take pictures and letters and all these things, and I'm gonna make the walls and the everything in the basement like an homage, like a museum to my family and a career and everything. So now when people come down there, they're going to be like, oh, look at that. That's from that. And that's a sign. Garth Brooks signed a cowboy hat for me. And he's a Yogi Berra thing. And whatever I got, you know what I mean? I'm just going to put
Sure.
there. But it's also going to be decoupage, full giant frame decoupages of, grandparents, parents, parties that we had, really interesting stuff. And it's going to, honor my family and my wife's family. And then also if I become a grandfather ever.
Yeah, I don't want to bring that up, but I was like, you should probably like clear the way because you'll be having grandbabies one day, you know?
Yeah, well then, so I have to, tear the carpet up and put a new floor in and the whole thing. And then I got the ongoing, spider cricket battle down there, which I've kind of won. I did it with glue traps, and I took that, that great stuff, the stuff you spray and it foams out and it gets hard.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's called great stuff,
Right, yeah.
I've been using that to plug up some holes from the outside in on the basement, and that's been working. So
nice.
That between that and glue traps, and I put actually took mothballs and I put them underneath my front porch where I thought they were coming in. And the front with the mothballs actually reject, all the spider crickets and whatever possums or cats are underneath my front porch. Where if they fight each other with urine, so one pees here and then the other one smells it and the other one pees and before you know it, the front of my house smells like piss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
I
I
had no
put
idea.
the mothballs
That's actually a
in,
great
and
idea.
gets-
I have I think
pee on each other?
I have raccoons on top of my roof.
So Sally's going to go up on her
Yeah.
roof and pee.
Yeah. So
Raccoons are a whole nother thing, Sally.
I know.
It's
I don't
a
know what
whole-
to do.
it's a
Maybe
whole
I
other
should-
level because
should I
they're
call
much more
people?
intelligent and much bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't even know because they're not inside the house. Like we don't have an attic or anything. But the other day it was raining really hard, and rain was coming through like a section of the dining room. So I wanted to see, what is it, like weather stripping that might need to be replaced? Is that what we were saying?
Yeah, possibly.
So, but I went on top of the roof to like check it out, like what was going on. Like at first I thought maybe leaves were blocking where the water, shoots down.
Wait, you went up there
Yeah, I'm like
with
that.
a ladder?
No, I just fling myself out a window and jump on the roof.
Oh my God!
She's a ninja.
Yeah, I used to
You
I used to
don't hear
be
that-
I used
you
to
don't
be
hear
a
that sentence every day.
I used to be a rock climber. Like I used to live in Colorado and like hang off
Right.
mountainsides and stuff. So like height doesn't bother me. So I just probably because I don't have any. But so I went up there to see if there was like leaves blocking something, and it wasn't. And then I looked at this one section of the roof, and there's like 2 or 3 piles of like big poo. I'm like, what the what?
Yeah, that's a raccoon. Then
So
you're in
because it
trouble.
was big, it wasn't like squirrel poo. So I took pictures
Yeah.
of it, and then I went online, and I'm like, "What poo are you?"
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty sure it's raccoon. So I don't know whether they just had a party up there one day and aren't there all the
Or
time,
it's
or
Winnie. Maybe it's Winnie the Pooh. You find any empty
Honey
honey
pots.
jars up there?
a couple of honey pots.
Yeah.
Would you just put mothballs up on top of the roof?
I don't
Or should I
know
call
if you could use that to repel raccoons, but
I should probably call a
mothballs are
guy.
a good repellent, so I know that, but you have to Google that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you spray something or put the mothballs there or put them like in a little dish near where you know that they are.
Yeah.
But that's what I did. That's what I did, and it kind of repels everything.
All right, well, here's
So-
the most important part of this whole conversation. Corona, non-corona, anything. This is the most important part right here. A little over a week ago, guess who killed it at the brokerage?
I wanted to ask you, man. That was that last Sunday night,
He
huh?
did.
I made history. I have you know, I am the last person to perform at the brokerage because I was the headline. I went on last.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that next because tell me, was it a full house? Did you have any people?
It was not a full house because of the whole Corona thing, and
Yeah, of course,
So that
yeah.
and that's why that's why there were no other performances since because they Truson canceled the rest of the
right.
classes
Right.
performances and the clubs have shut down.
Yeah.
At the time it was 50 or more were not even allowed. So yeah, so they
Right.
But
how did it go? Did you did your act A to B to C to D, and
Yep.
did you get the laughs where you wanted them and everything?
I got the laughs where I wanted them, and Joey, I'll be honest with you, there was a time about halfway through the class where I thought, you know what, I think I'm gonna quit this class. I don't think I can do this. I stuck it through. John Truson was a huge help, and yeah, absolutely. And then for me personally, I just knew after a while I need an audience. Standing up there in class, I mean, there were times I was always one of the first ones there. I'm always early with stuff. I'd rather be early, super early, and bored than late. That's just who I am.
Yep.
So I would always
know that about you.
Yeah. So I would get there. So there'd be two other people there. So John would, I'd always be one of the few first people up in class. So I'm performing for three people, and you're not getting a read. You're not getting a vibe. So I just knew after a while. I need, from doing the murder mysteries and game shows for 25 years, I knew I just needed an audience. So once, it was weird waiting to go on when I knew I was next. I did have that moment where I was like, holy shit, I forgot everything. And I'm just standing there completely just stoned.
Not when you went on stage, when you were just standing.
And as I'm waiting to go on, when I was next, I was just waiting, and I felt that. I was like, holy crap, I can't remember a single thing. And I'm just standing there. I'm just staring at the guy going on. I'm not looking around. And I'm not doing anything. Just standing there like a mannequin, and in my head, just trying to run through it all. And then I couldn't get through the first three sentences, and I couldn't get past that. And I'm like, shit, I still don't know my act. I totally lost it. When I finally got to the fourth and fifth sentence, then I was like, okay, I'm good. I got this. Went up there, nervous as can be. But then again, once I had an audience up there, I was okay, and it took me maybe 2 minutes of being up there. There was a guy right in the front, and I told the first joke. All I did was tell the very first joke. I got the punchline out. I look down. This guy is at my feet, and he's texting on his phone. So I start yelling at him. I go, I'm the last guy. You can't wait 5 more minutes. Get off your freaking phone. And that was it. Then I felt, after yelling at this poor bastard, I was completely in the zone at that point.
You didn't
and I
yell
rocked
at him. It was nice.
Well,
and
it was
cute,
playfully yelling
and
at him.
he
Yeah.
laughed. Yeah,
yes.
you did it perfect.
Well,
I ignore that now. It happens at my shows. Even I tell Rachel, we tell them to shut them off completely, or we take them.
Right.
But whenever I have anybody with a phone out now, I just ignore it completely. I addressed it for a while. I got mad and I addressed it. Now I just go, you know what? It's inevitable. It's going to happen. I'm not going to take the show away from this person because this person's got a phone out.
No, but that was the thing.
So now I just ignore it and keep on going. I don't even look at him.
But that's the thing. I mean, I playfully yelled at him, and he laughed, and the crowd applauded. It was the best thing that could have happened, because it totally it kind of put me in that zone of interaction, which is what I've been doing all these years. So so that made me feel good. So I was thrilled that this guy did it.
Too. If that's your way to make
making the connection.
Right.
And you weren't even mad. You just saw it as like you just seized the moment because you thought it would be funny, and it was.
You kept it lighthearted.
He'll do that in shows, like someone's phone will ring and he'll walk over and he'll be like, "Can I answer it?" And he'll talk to the person in the middle of the audience, So he just saw it as like an opportunity, and it worked,
and I'll put you on the spot. I'll send you the video if you'd like to see it. I don't want to be one of those people. Look at my video.
No, I'd love to watch it. I'd love to watch it, man. And getting back to those seconds before you go on stage, always what helps me is I run the first 3 lines I'm going to say in my head before I go up on stage.
You do.
Sometimes I run the whole 3 or 4 minute. If it's a 3 or 4 minute bit.
No
I
kidding.
say to myself, where am I going to go here? Am I going to start with weather, my kids, my family, or me being fat?
Yeah, like bullet
a couple
points.
different on-ramps to get on the LIE. It's like an on-ramp thing.
And you still do that now?
Yeah, I still do it. Oh,
wow.
Yeah. Especially because 2 years ago I had the transient global amnesia episode.
Right.
Yeah.
I told you about that.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
That was... I stopped taking my beta blocker, which I didn't realize was an anxiety drug. I thought it was just a heart thing.
Right.
And I got off it 8 days in. Good thing I had Richie Byrne with me, and we showed up to a Gonzo gig in New Jersey. And Mike Marino was hanging out with us, and he emceed and closed it.
Right.
But ladies and gentlemen, Joey Cola, and I forgot my whole act, and that's after doing it 39. Well, at that point it was 38 years.
Right.
I'm doing it this year is 40 years.
Wow.
And I've been doing it, and I haven't. In the 40 years I've been doing it, the longest I haven't been on stage is 2 weeks.
Right. Wow.
and that was up until that point was my honeymoon. And
Right.
then I got the Bell's palsy 2 years ago, and then I hadn't been on stage for 3 weeks or almost a month, and then and then now this thing.
Yeah.
Today is day 14 for me, so now it's 2 weeks. But the transient global amnesia thing was a chemical thing that happened.
Right. Right.
know?
Yeah. Well, apart from that, I was just surprised to hear that you still have to run a few sentences through your head. So I figured I just figured it's so just automatic for you to get out there and start. I'm surprised.
Well, I could go into automatic pilot if I want, but then and there's times when I was so tired from doing tons of shows and just trying to bring money back to the house when the kids were littler, that I just did that, just to bang out as many shows as I could. But
Yeah.
I realized that I wasn't having that much fun, and then you reevaluate. You sit down with yourself and you evaluate: Am I having fun here? And if I'm not, how I turn this around to get to where I want to be in the moment again. And that's how Joanna Bexon I took acting classes with Joanna Bexon. She kept me in the moment by doing teaching me the Meisner technique
Sure.
and how to be in the moment and really live. And you're taking your emotions that you've had in your life. Like if you got to bring a tear and you got to cry in a scene when you're acting, you got to cry, but use the writer's words. You got to say these words that are on the page, but you got to bring your emotion from your past to that level. Joanna Dixon taught me how to do that and bring it to my stand-up.
Right.
Whether it's anger, sadness, or laughing along with, and then lay my words, which are jokes, on top of that. It's a multi-layered thing. So I mean, it's we can get into this the psychology of what I go through on stage when I get to where I got to get to, but it's a system that's been developed, and I think everybody has that system. Every comic, that we know has their own system to get where they got to get to make that room come together and laugh at what you're saying,
Yeah, sure. Wow. I could talk about this stuff for hours. I love hearing all this stuff. This is great. I love this.
Well, I'm going to jump in the shower now because it's been too long.
I hope this isn't the first one after Saturday because I felt bad. You were sweating when you were done.
Thanks, man. Yeah. I might. I just got off the phone with the executive producer of Rachel Ray, and he was like, everybody from the show was watching, and we put it up on the thing.
Oh, that's cool.
When are you doing another one? I said, well, I don't want to do too many.
Right.
I want to give. I don't want to be like every Saturday night Joey Cola doing that because A, I'll eat through a lot of material,
right,
and B,
I was thinking that too.
It's just it gets boring. It gets boring too much. There's some people that post a lot on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, and it's getting to the point where I scroll by them, or I'm like, all right, I know where they're going or whatever. I know a lot of people feel like that about me, than now. So I don't want to be that person with especially with stand up, because when this is all over, I also want to bring bring it to the clubs again and do what I do in the clubs.
Yeah,
but,
you don't want to say it all online, and then you go to the clubs
but
and that's your act.
Given that, there's a good chance I'm going to do at least one or two more. I'll probably do it on YouTube next time because I'm learning.
Right.
Because we tried to do my fan page and Facebook and Instagram, and we don't know where it went to at this point. But I'm up to 7,500 views if you combine the Instagram, the fan page, and the regular page. But I got a YouTube channel. I think I'm just going to put it on YouTube and tell everybody I want to be over there because that's what Gaffigan's doing.
Oh, okay.
He's got a few followers, that guy.
Yeah, just
this
a few.
new kid, Jim Gaffigan. Have you heard of him? Oh, you haven't?
So.
Wow, he's going to be big. What do you see?
Now that he's
a couple
on
kids
YouTube.
I'm working with now that I used to work. I'm trying to teach him how to do stand-up. Joe Rogan. There's this new kid, Joe Rogan. Young kid named Chris Rock, and this kid Gaffigan. Keep an eye on them. They're going to be somebody to watch.
Absolutely. Well, I still say, just grab one item. You talk for 5-10 minutes.
Yeah,
I think
5-10 minutes.
That's the thing.
I think it's a great idea.
And you're not giving away jokes or your act, but you're a great storyteller. People love listening to you talking, and then you're just funny in your own right, telling a story. So I think that could be fun.
I do, and it doesn't
maybe
even
I'll
have
do
to
that.
be comic stuff. It could be like seriously. I mean, as sad as it is, hearing about your family member who is sick now.
Yeah.
Like just things like that. And be like, here's the picture of them. This is the last time I remember them. Like, I think people really, they adore you, so they'll love stuff like that.
I already want to.
Thank you.
You said Yogi Berra already. I'm sitting there thinking, man, I can't wait to hear about you meeting Yogi Berra. I mean, because that's where a lot of us want to do that.
Yeah.
So we want to hear these stories.
Save your stand up.
Believe me, I got a lot of good stories. I mean, I've been doing it for a long time. Last time I saw Ray Romano, he was I saw him. He was doing a guest spot on Kevin's show, the other show, 2 years ago.
Right.
And he goes, "Man, you should write a book, man. I'm telling you, you've seen a lot."
Well, there you go. And again, during this time especially, they'll be reading your video book. They'll be watching the videos of your stories,
Yeah,
and it's a
I guess
perfect
that's
time
the way-
for it. I personally believe.
Well, I'm still learning. I'm a live guy. Whether it's warming up TV audiences or clubs, I'm not too much of a video guy. I'm still learning how to navigate.
Right.
How do you? I mean, that's why you and I had to work together. I mean, if anybody knows, it's you about how uneducated I am about this stuff. But you know what? I'm learning a little bit as we go, and that might be a good idea to. But it would be cool if I'm going to do it. I'm not just going to sit on a couch on my back porch and put the camera, my big face, on the camera and just talk.
Right.
Like a lot of people are doing. They're just putting all you see is their face.
Right.
And they're talking. I'm not doing that. I want to bring a show. So I'll even do it. If we do what you just said, Sally, I'll do it from that format. I'll set up the lights and the mic and everything, and I'll do it from a stand-up format. But I'll do it. Maybe we'll do some kind of Q&A. I'll do 5 or 10 minutes on whatever bits people text me. Like they go, like if people text me or private message me and they go, "Hey, can you talk about do the cat bit or do this bit?" But if they also, can you talk about, and I don't want to be political, no politics,
Right,
no coronavirus.
Yes.
I don't want to talk about those things because it's too much. So no politics, no virus, no sickness. It's got to be positive, upbeat, and it's got to be something that I could relate to personally in my life.
Right.
The cat noise or cleaning up dog poop or whatever that is. But I can also talk about, I got a wealth of material because I've been doing it a long time. And I could also, like you just said, Tony, I could just riff on whatever anybody wants to talk about.
Right.
And hopefully make it funny. But
well, yeah, you're just
I also
naturally
like
funny
to make
as it is.
funny. I don't like to just have a conversation all the time,
Right, but again, you're naturally funny. So again, so to hear a story, you hold up an autograph or a picture of you and Yogi Berra, you tell a 5-minute story of what it was like to meet him and what you guys talked about. No doubt it's going to be entertaining and funny because that's just who you are. This isn't
And heartwarming. Don't discount the heartwarming.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not just his act. He's just he's just who he is. You enjoy his company just hearing him talk. So
just be you is
I really think that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too. I would.
But that's
I would
where
watch
I'm
that.
going, Sally. Like what you're saying, I want to do funny, heartwarming.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I think that would be great.
And you do that whether you're trying to do that or not. That's just what you put out.
And interesting.
man. Yeah,
you have interesting topics.
Right.
Like maybe I just
My
like
friend,
everything you like, but so that could be. But I just find
Yeah, but I could talk
they're
about.
interesting
you
topics.
guys know me with the birds and the butterflies.
Yeah,
and
like I
nature.
could talk about grasshoppers with you for an hour. So like maybe that's just me, but I find it interesting. Do heartwarming and interesting. You'll be fine.
Thank you. All right,
Cool.
Well, listen, great talking, you guys.
Yeah,
You too,
thanks so
man.
much
Thank
for
you as
calling
always.
in.
Yeah.
We'll talk again soon. Yeah, we'll see how far this goes. I'll try to give you a call every few days. All right.
Sounds
Oh,
good to
that'd be
me.
awesome. Thanks
Enjoy
a lot,
your
Jerry.
Be
shower.
well. Be safe. Keep in touch. I'll see you later.
All right, pal. Bye-bye.
Take care. Brush your hair.
See
All
ya.
right. See you later.
Thanks, Joey.
Joey Cola, ladies and gentlemen. Joey Cola.
That was great. I didn't know he was going to call. Did you?
I did not know. He commented asking if he could.
Oh yeah, but he
Yeah,
just
and
said,
then
"Yeah,
I-
I'll call every couple of days." So I thought like
just now,
maybe you
yeah.
guys like set something up.
Oh,
so that
no.
that was totally cool. Yeah, and we are going to wrap up, but we just wanted to answer some questions like Bonnie Scalese, because we did tell all the hosts last night that the studio is closed. So she's like, hey, I just canceled my guest. And yeah, Bonnie, it is closed. What if you came late to the show, or if anyone came late to the show? Yesterday afternoon, we were reading a lot of the comments of people writing in saying, hey, you're not 6 feet apart. This isn't safe. We want you guys to be well. There's too many people in the studio. And we're like, we need to take this as seriously as everyone else is taking it. And everyone's life has changed, and our lives have to change too. So we really, thought hard about it, and we contacted, the people who are governors, and we all kind of agreed that, let's close down the studio. All the shows are canceled. And then what happened was this morning, I actually left something in the studio that I was going to come and scoop up. And Tony was like, I'm going to go live at 11. Maybe I'll go live from my car. And I'm like, well, we're the only ones who are really ever in here every single day. And I'm like, why don't we just do it from the studio? Why don't we just come in for not 2 hours, because we're not going to, we're not going to be able to have guests. We're not going to, it would be a lot of work to do 2 hours with just the two of us, but just an hour a day. Maybe not tomorrow, but an hour a day to come in and see how everyone is. And we asked, how would it work? If we're the only ones in here and the studio is clean, we're not getting germs, we're not giving germs, we're not doing anything that we're not doing in our car. So we figured if it was just us and we had some kind of contact, and even if other shows want to call in during this hour and talk, we can't have any people in here besides us, but that's kind of what the thought was 2 hours before we got here, but we're still open to thoughts. But so shows are canceled other than us, although they'll be doing it from...
The shows aren't canceled if you want to do the show from your own location.
Right. Yeah. If you want to do your show from your own location, that would be perfect and great, and but it won't be inside the studio.
If you'd like to... Yeah, we're going to wrap this up in a minute, but moving forward, if you'd like to...
Okay, sorry.
Sallie's in charge. If you'd like to, moving forward, we're sticking to our same schedule, so we're not on tomorrow. Danielle did say that her and Eric are doing it. I don't. Are you guys getting together, or are you doing some kind of split screen thing? What is it? Zoom. But when we're back Thursday, Friday. If we can always FaceTime you in and put you on the screen, or you can just call in. And again, that's going to be basically just what we're going to do without guests. It's admittedly just hard to do a show without guests. So we're going to be heavily relying on the phone calls and comments. And I know I haven't read a lot today, but we had the call with Joey. But we'll do the best we can, reading comments, taking calls, talking to you guys. I did have some. I did have some Tuesday trivia, but we can do that on Thursday.
Yeah, that's right.
We could do that on Thursday.
Since I'm in charge.
Yeah. So and even if we don't get to it Thursday, we'll get to it when we can, because again, depends on what's happening, depends on who calls, depends on who we're talking to, depending on what's going on. It's every day, everything. Things are changing every day with this whole situation. So we'll do the best we can. And hopefully most of the other shows will be doing their shows somehow. We did send them some information on some various ways they could do it. They might want to just do it simply by holding their phone out. It's better than nothing. Unfortunately, nobody else can come in here, unfortunately. But hopefully they can still do their shows somehow, because we'd love to see them. And again, and just like I know for us, and I'm assuming for the hosts, all the hosts, it's therapeutic for us to still do it. Getting out of the house, still having some kind of normal routine and just doing our thing. So, all right. So,
yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. Thank you, thank you, Joe Staz. Tomorrow you have to talk about hockey, says Matt. Well, Eric is on tomorrow. We're assuming. Eric and Danielle, I believe, are on tomorrow. So what's today? Today is Tuesday. Anthony is not going to be here tonight. I don't know if he's doing anything on his own.
Yeah, we're
tonight.
not going to know really until people tell us what they're doing from their house. But we'll try to keep everyone.
Danielle says she'll message me later to let you know what we're doing. Please, I appreciate that. That way we can spread the word to let everybody know what's happening. Even if there's some kind of last minute thing like Emily did on Sunday night. Or a last-minute cancellation, that way we can keep in touch with everybody and let them know what's happening. Would love to, do what we can here, and we're even posting on Govs Radio's Facebook page. We've been posting other things, like Joey's stand-up act the other night. We shared that. We shared Chris Savini doing some DJing. We've been sharing musical acts, other comedians telling a joke or whatever they're doing. So, If you want to do that too, if you want to email us, you telling a joke or singing a song or something, we'll gladly play it during the show.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
But even when we're live, you want to call and do the same thing. All right, so we're gonna head out of here. Sallie and I will see you Thursday. I don't know if Anthony's doing anything tonight. Our apologies to Jeff Bosey, Rich Rada, who were supposed to premiere their show tonight. Jeff, I don't know if you and Rich are still planning on doing something. So again, we'll give you updates as best we can when we know. We appreciate your patience during this crazy time.